Hello, everybody. Welcome to the wonderful world that is Sonic 06. I'm Labrys, and I'm going to be here with Sonic the Hedgehog All Stages. This is a bit different from your usual story run, in that you just pick levels from trial mode. But what's quite interesting and different about this run is that you get to use every upgrade, sort of like a New Game Plus run. So you tend to see really cool differences in strats throughout the run. Starting with Wave Ocean. I suppose I can just start. So Wave Ocean, there is a giant skip here. Usually these layouts of levels are reused. The terrain is reused with different objects placed for different characters. This one is used for all three. So I'm going to buffer a jump so I can break out of this section of automation, and then I'm going to do a loop launch. I'm going to intentionally make a homing attack lift until it reaches a wall. Actually kind of precise. And pause buffer this. Okay, a bit high. Try this again. This is why we do this level first in all stages, everybody. This trick right here. Too low again. Ooh. And you can do it without a pause screen, it's just frame perfect, so I just happen to mash and get it. This is something I will go for until I get. There we go. Now we are in Shadow section of the stage using the blue gem. The blue gem is a gem that kind of acts like a Sonic Adventure DX spin dash, and it gives us a boost of extra speed. The Sky Gem is the Ender Pearl before the Ender Pearl. The nice little throwable grappling hook allows us to clear gaps whenever we need to. Like this one, where an Orca would normally throw you in, but you can just do it yourself. And that's the section 1 of Wave Ocean. Ooh, boy. Now section 2 is a little more standard. It's a Mach speed section, so you can still light dash, but you are moving forward at a breakneck speed. So what I'm going to try and do is neutral stick after I light dash as much as possible. And what neutral sticking does is that it preserves whatever speed I have, regardless of if it's past the maximum run speed or not. So if I'm light dashing, I'm going faster than I'm running. Oops. Not meaning anything. And so you go significantly faster in a state of what's called speed 3, or speed 1, 2, and 3. 3 is when you preserve that speed from a light dash. We can use that ramp, totally functional. So is this. And then we hit the left side of this automation. And hopefully we can jump over this. Yep, we did. And although the goal ring's far to our left, we make it out of Wave Ocean in one piece.
Too easy. No sweat.
Now, we go from the incredibly insane Wave Ocean, where you just circumvent the entire thing, to something much more tame, Dusty Desert. There are 2 of these Princess levels, and each of these you carry a flotation device that strips you of most of your power-ups. Bar the light dash, the homing attack, and the slide granted you by the anti-gravity upgrade. So, this level is very simple. You walk down slopes, you homing attack up them like crazy. So what I'm going to do is cut over to the left here, and I'm going to walk on this sand instead of going around as intended. Homing attack up the slope for just a little bit of extra speed. So I can make it to the other side without my shield gauge running out. Load it up here. If I hold right here, I just dodge the spring. You do not need to actually destroy those enemies. That's not required combat. And here it's attached with the homing attack. And we're done with Dusty Desert. Very simple level. Very straightforward.
I don't believe it!
Usually an S rank would be bad, but since I've already S ranked on this file, it doesn't really matter. Because I won't get that extra gold metal animation in lose 6 seconds. Coming up, we have White Acropolis, one of 2 snowboarding levels, or boarding levels. I think Ice Cap, but I don't know, different.
Press and hold the A button as long as you can, and release it right at the jump ramp.
So, right now I have a current max speed of moderately fast. We can fix that though. By jumping on what's a jump trigger, and then sliding off the ramp, not like that.
Yahoo!
We're gonna create this jump trigger right here. And that's called Shutter Speed. We have a whole bunch of speed. Ludicrous amounts of speed. So we can possibly flip through walls and go much faster than this boulder that's supposed to be kind of close. Oh no. This might actually kill me. Yep. Because I was going so fast, I actually clipped through the wall. That's just one of the unfortunate consequences of Shutter Speed. Named after the runner Shutter 6262, who currently holds Unleashed any % world record. He IL'd this game for a pretty long time. There is another speed cap glitch later in Crisis City. Go for it again. Okay, I missed it. I'm not gonna go back. But now you can see the rest of the stage at a leisurely pace. Sad. But overall, that trick saves about 15 seconds, I want to say. And it's pretty much impossible to hit that checkpoint unless you really control it. And then you wouldn't need to jump here with Shutter Speed, but you do need to hit the jump trigger with that. Ah, what a wonderful run. So normally, casually, you would have to go around to the left, play as Tails, switch back to Sonic, do a whole bunch of shenanigans with some ice walls and some switches. But whereas we can do something we do in story runs called Laser Club. You get hit, and then hopefully you clip right through. Then use the sadly nerfed bounce bracelet to climb up there and finish White Acropolis. Oh boy.
Too easy. No sweat.
Now the next stage is probably one of the longest ILs, and it also has a speed cap glitch, but I'm only going to go for it once. It's going to open with a boarding section yet again, and can I get some the whole city's on fires in chat right about now? I'm not quite looking at chat, but I would appreciate it if you said it with me for him.
The whole city's on fire.
Because the whole city is indeed on fire, exploding like a Michael Bay film. So coming up here is DSS speed. Similar nomenclature, but for the legendary runner Dark Sun Sonic, who grandfathered a lot of the game's technology, and for other games too, like Unleashed 1. Now I'm going pretty fast. Yep. Yeah, I'm not going for that again. I don't lose too much time.
The whole city's on fire.
Although it pains me to do so. Don't worry, there's much cooler stuff. That's how the jump's supposed to work. But you got to see the cooler variant for a bit. And that DSS speed saves about 15 seconds as well. So sad that I didn't get either, but oh well. I'm not going to slam my face against the wall over it. I can do this rail. But just to look cool. Not necessarily faster. Probably is slower. We haven't really timed those out because they don't go as fast as DSS speed would. And we're gonna do another homing attack with sort of like the loop launch, but with this rail and about straight downward. And what they call rail shoot back. Get it. Alright, one more time. Okay. If I say one more time, I meant two more times. Okay, or you can just jump off this to the left like a normal person. Although rail shoot back does save a couple of seconds. Come on, Sonic. Didn't sign up for this. Well, that worked out. Anyways, we're on this rail now.
The whole city's on fire.
The whole city's still on fire. Now I'm gonna use a technique called Spin Dash Blue Gem. Give myself a bit more speed. Normally you would go around to the left, doing this very precise jump. Instead, since we're all stages, we have the Sky Gem. And we can throw it pretty much anywhere we please. So that saves it quite a bit of time. It's a routing variation I found. Probably like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe more, maybe less. And now we get to introduce the third of the 4 gems, the purple gem. This makes you tiny, but in the air, it gives you an extra jump. And since the gem gauge is infinite, you have an extra infinite jump. So it lets you skip that platform either with ease. Although it is a bit slow, it's very precise, so you can use it to turn corners like that, where the Sky Gem would normally be an option. Now for the tornado that carries cars. No, that's next section. This is just a bunch of blue gem some platforming. There's a cycle, these platforms, but you don't quite have to care about it. This one in particular. These land over here. This is called Focus Pipe. You can land on this pipe instead of taking those enemies and hop straight to that spring. And then we're done with section 3 of 4. Section 4 is our Mach Speed section. It's pretty punishing in that if you do make a mistake, you are rewarded with shrapnel.
That tornado's carrying a car.
Exhibit A. And not only do you lose time by losing speed, you lose time by losing frames per second. And yes, every single piece of shrapnel hurts. Like, even after the car is kind of disassembled. Gosh, 2 cars, hopefully. And we're alive. And no, that is not not cool slow motion. That is just the Xbox struggling to keep up with the graphic demands of that tornado who carries cars. So Flame Core is actually... We thought this would be faster Section 1 by skipping it entirely with the purple gem in an angled surface clip, which we'll see in Section 2. But it's actually faster just to do the level kind of as intended with the gems. With the blue gem and the sky gem in particular.
Gotta be careful not to fall off here.
Oh yeah, those are random within a range.
If I use a homing
And you can just be hit whenever, at that very beginning and also at the very end. Keep your eyes peeled. If you were here this morning, it could happen again. Use sky gem to save myself a bit.
lava shoots up from that fiery ground.
There we go. The sky gem at the corner of that door to clip through it. That's going to be a thing we do with a couple other doors in the game, most notably in Aquatic Base. Skip that bit of platforming. And we're going to damage root. This is this cryptic jackknife came up with. You can throw the sky gem through this wall and jump over this way. Sometimes the sky gem despawns based on where you are and how far away you threw it. Oh, come on, not like this. What am I doing wrong? There we go.
That's not a nice welcome.
We get hit on this bird, so we don't have the knockdown animation, but we still take damage for the end one. Ooh, this is rough. And yes, the Cocoa Puffs make a return.
Let's head into the volcano.
And we're out. The one thing I didn't want to have happen didn't happen. Section 2 is kind of cool. You do an angled surface clip, but you don't even play as Knuckles. In fact, if I do it right, I won't have to play as anyone else besides Sonic, even though you are intended to make multiple character swaps throughout these levels. I'm gonna do an angled surface clip, which is when I do my slide on an angled surface. And then when I bounce bracelet, I preserve what direction was down when I left the ground. So I get this nice little Final Rush-esque skit. If you've seen Sonic Adventure 2 speedruns. Now here, I'm going to throw the sky gem all the way up here. And what that's going to do is going to give me just enough momentum to land in this tube where the gold ring is. And normally you would do that as Knuckles, but as Sonic, you can do that just fine.
Just made it.
And we're about halfway there. Coming up next is Radical Train. The whole gimmick of this stage is to try and stop the train from running into the explosive boxes by detonating them first. You only detonate one of three. So you get at least a little bit ahead. You detonate those boxes and you move on with your life. It isn't worth it, man.
I better hurry up and cross this scale.
So instead of doing this giant platforming section, you do sky jump. Instead 8. The camera messed up on me. You spin dash into that dash pad to give your spin dash an extra little boost.
I better hurry up and cross this scale.
That would be faster than if you were just spin dashing or hitting the dash handle. That was beautiful. Then we do gate clip, which gets us around the second switch door. And generally, these rails are faster than doing blue jump on the ground.
Go on top of the train instead of being on the rails.
And then instead of taking the spring section, we just do a quick sky jump toss onto a wall. Then air flip to it. And we're out. And now for the Mach Speed section. I don't know why they have you, as Mach Speed Sonic, take this hard right corner at the very beginning, but they do.
Train is...
Casual nightmare, but we can use our light dash trails to kind of align ourselves. And we keep speed 3 here for this big jump onto this ramp. Do a little game jump sequence, and then we're gonna do another speed 3 jump. Oh no. Wow.
Elisa's train is...
I'm just making mistakes. Fine. I've never done that before. Big. Jump. This is about like 5-10 seconds. It's another chain jump sequence. And you can see how fast Speed 3 really is. And after I light dash, you can see how the train rubber bands away from me. So it's actually a lot of time save that I'm light dashing everywhere. Ooh. And that's Radical Dream.
Just made it.
And now we have our Calm Before the Storm, the second of 2 flotation device Bubble Buddy plot device levels. The princess is not but an aircraft seat cushion. In case of emergency, hold right trigger to float on water.
Let's run straight up.
So we're gonna, instead of going in this log, we can just kind of fall down here. Again, another simple level, but there are these evil vines that might try and kill me. They look like that. They have a timing for you to get a boost. I'm gonna wait this one out. But sometimes you get the boost and then you don't get sent anywhere. And since you can't homing attack, you just die. Quite depressing. Any one of these might kill me if I do it wrong. Alright, that's the last of them. Now we can do another angled surface clip on this giant log that we're about to be entering. And skip probably one of the most painful automation sections I've ever experienced. It's just so slow. Like, it looks slow. Not only does it last 10 seconds longer than it really should, it just looks painful. It's not even like you're going fast or anything. I'm going to use light dash here to accelerate myself to maximum, so I'll go a bit faster. Now, the reason I'm looking down here is because of lag. There's a bunch of enemies up there. Whoops. Almost distracted. And you don't want to look at any of them unless your FPS drops to like -5. And that's Tropical Jungle. And your shield can also damage enemies, I guess it's worth noting.
I don't believe it!
Neither do I, at least. I don't believe it either. We're done. Goodbye. Say goodbye to Elise, chat. And now we have the two titans of the game, Kingdom Valley and Aquatic Base. By this point in the game, you do have the blue gem, but you do not have any of the other gems. So we're gonna see some story style strats with some thoughts.
We don't have time. Let's get to Elise right away.
So again, we're going to make this giant jump off here instead of going all the way around. I'm gonna try not to die there. And then we're gonna switch to Sky Gem instead of taking the ropes.
Let's try going up.
Blue gem up here. I'm gonna try rock launch from here. Oh, that's good enough. I took the sky gem just in case I fell off, but if you spin kick on objects just right, they can launch you places, and that's just a tiny little IL rock launch that you can do. Save a bit of time. And also, the eagle's supposed to take you there, but we can sky gem there instead. Now, if you get off right here, silver is supposed to be playable, but turns out there's a nicely positioned column right there. I'll do the story style. I missed the platform. Oops. And then you hit the trigger over here, so you switch from Sonic to Sonic. And you're supposed to switch from Silver to Sonic. Now this next strat is very old. I think it's like 2012, founded by Peroxide. If you can also jump off of this eagle early, although it wouldn't really have a point in the regular story, and sky gem to the top of this other tower. There we go. That's some theatrics for you. And then land on the other side, skipping a little bit of the combat section. I'm gonna do a little bit of rail navigating. And we're gonna do
Let's try going up.
a bit of a rope skip. You're supposed to make it all the way up here. This is where you would do castle skip, but sorry, Static, this is cooler. There's a new version of castle skip coming up in the works, but I'm not going to reveal it just yet. Maybe in a future marathon. Or Extreme, it's also possible in Silver Story. So we can use White Gem to melt through doors. That's primarily what it's used for in this story. But the other use of White Gem is that it's a homing attack that resets your gravity. So whatever falling speed you had, it's a reset. You can make normally impossible jumps like this. Okay, that was a bit close. And that did like 3 or 4 seconds. So we throw one last sky gem over here, and we're inside. The final section of Kingdom Valley is just another Mach Speed section. It's actually quite simple. There are a couple of cool things you can do. But really it's just about maintaining speed 3. Light dashing, neutral sticking. You can jump off to the right here and run on this wall, which skips another automation section. that require you to do a couple mini quick time events. And then it's just a straight line to the finish. Let's take this set of jump panels here. Change jumps here. That's Kingdom Valley. We got one more level left. And that's Aquatic Base. Aquatic Base
No sweat.
is a level that remains unchanged. By this point in the story, you have all the upgrades, so there's going to be nothing really new compared to a new game run, but it's still a very cool and technical level. You have all these tight corridors, one of which you're going to see at the very beginning, which you can blue gem down. But blue gem also has a distinct possibility of just bonking. Bonking loses about 2 seconds per. And use white gem to melt through one of these doors again. Use some combat, and traverse another one of these tight tunnels again.
It looks like it was really advanced.
Get through that guy. Now coming up is what one of the more complicated skips in the game. Aquatic Base skip. Normally the section you play as Tails. This saves several minutes. What you do is skyjam up to this platform. And then skyjam to a room where Shadow and Silver would spawn. You can flip out to a room where you intended to be. Then the final door would open after you do a bunch of stuff, but you can just clip in there too. And you're out. Normally that would be about like a 3 or 4 minute section. Maybe like 2 if you were speedrunning it without Aquatic Base skip. But here we speedrun it with Aquatic Base skip. Now coming up is the final MP non-Sonic skip in the game, is Knuckle skip. I will go for this a maximum of twice. It's a series of skyjump throws that you use after you clip into Knuckle section. That was interesting. Lasted for a bit longer than I remember. So normally you would do some combat over there, but instead you clip through this door. I don't think I made it. Okay. That's 1. And that's 2. Okay.
Knuckles, thanks.
Right onto the switch. How convenient. No, Sonic is not Knuckles. He is not having an identity crisis. He's still Sonic. The game is confused, not Sonic. White gem to melt through that one last door. And as I'm going down this last corridor, I just want to shout out the Sonic 06 community for helping me do all this shit. They're helping me learn the game, learn the crafts that you see here, discover new ones. It's a really sick game.
Yeah.
You should run it too. Thank you everyone. This has been Sonic 06, all Sonic stages. Hope you enjoyed the run. I'm gonna ask the I have an optional glitch exhibition, but I'm going to, since the run before me finished quite early. But I do realize I am overestimate. So am I good for the thing, or do we not have time? I'm going to query the powers that be. I've got like 5 minutes. Okay, apparently I have 5 minutes. That is just enough time to show this. Closer to 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you there is so much stuff in this game. Like, I just showed you the stages. There's also, well, bosses, duh. But there's also all these missions. Like, I'm going to show you a used one, but then they also, so like, they're these like diddly little things. Sometimes they're cool combat missions, sometimes they have objectives, sometimes they're just like talk to the guy. And so if you've seen the game before, you know all about this kind of stuff. It's supposed to be this giant logic puzzle, and you're supposed to figure out who the real guy is, and you just talk to the same guy again. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna quit for time because loading screens take forever. But he is not telling a lie, and that is like a 1 or 2 second mission. But then there are some unused ones that are still on the disc. For every one of these 50 or so trials, so like Sonic has 20, Shadow has 15, Silver I think has 18, there are about 1 or 2 unused trials and just on disc, vibing. So I'm going to switch profiles and show you 2 of these unused missions. One, and they're in various states of repair. And some of them are more silly than others. So the first one I'm going to show you is a Shadow mission. You can edit where these stories point to, and I made them point to unused files that are on my retail disk. So this is a completely unmodded copy of the game. It's just the save file special. So you get this premise. Oh no, robbers on the run. Capture all of them. It's like, wait, how do you do this? Shadow. All you do is like homing attack and stuff. So Egbert, I think I know one of them. I think is over here. You just homing attack them. They have this hilariously long falling animation, and they get up. You just kind of stand there. You're supposed to find 5. However, there's another one. I think there's a third. I think there's only actually 3. Wait, no. And the Shadow's passive form of movement is homing attack the other way. There's one in this area. So the cool part about this mission is that you can die, and so my count is at 2. Where'd it go? And then my count is at 3. And then it just says we have done nothing wrong. The timer goes to about 7 seconds. The health bar is massively displaced and the mission ends. And then they make a reference to the E3 statue that they now have in the office that they made for Shadow 05. That still exists and isn't. And you know, it's like of the cover art of Shadow pointing the gun downwards, looking behind him angrily. That nice little reference tucked in there. And you get to move the camera during the results screen. Now this other one is not completable to my knowledge. I'm gonna... Oh yeah, by the way, since the game doesn't really know what to do, you get credits. That was, since I loaded it up through Sonic Story, it had Sonic Story credit music. But I don't want to get DMCA'd, so I'm gonna skip that. This other one is a Sonic mission. I swapped these two around, sorry. Let's see the premise here. I'm just gonna let the dialogue speak for itself. This is the first unused mission I've run into. There's no time. Hurry and take this ball to my brother. He's at the foot of those high bells. I've seen some bells before, probably, if you've watched gameplay or looks Sonic No Credits for Friend. That's like, okay, yeah, this is feasible, but where is this ball? How does this ball work? See, oh yeah, where's the ball? Oh. Balls. And then there's some spiky balls that you have to supposedly like navigate around. Spin kick does nothing to this. So you just kind of have to... You can really get this thing moving if you get it up against the walls very precisely. Like, actually it's moving. I don't have any good upgrades for it. Oh yeah, there we go. Goodbye, ball. Bonk. But yeah, no, this mission, to my knowledge, is uncompletable. And here's where the high bells would be. Yes, repost if Sonic is ballin'. But I assume would be here, and I can show you if there are bells. There's a bell right there, I think. Oh well. Those stutters were the game, by the way. I don't know what's causing... Anyways, that's what I wanted to show you guys. This game was a wonderful broken mess with a bunch of potential, but I hope you all enjoyed the showcase and enjoyed the next run, which is a reimagining of this game and what it probably could have been with Gordon Ramsay. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to the 06 community and everyone in it. If you want to speedrun the game, go to the SRC page, click the Discord. We'll be ready to hook you up with any sort of information you need. Alright, that's it for me.
Wait! No way! It was actually the right frame all along! Let's go, Prophet!
That was a joke!
What? Looks like I was the one that miscounted. Good job, Prophet. That was an insane RNG manip. And now that 5 seconds really makes sense. They just saved 15 seconds on Ninja Frog in Wild Canyon. That's amazing.
That was unexpected. Ah, never mind. The run's dead. Oh, what? 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 Did you guys see that? What? What was that?
Via a clip that you can skip all the way to the end of the level without having to collect 400 rings, I believe is the number. Refrag gets it first try, 595, and Venom also gets it first try.
Same
595.
time.
Wow.
They both get the
They
same
tied
time.
to the frame. That's incredible.
Yes! Yes! Finally!